Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. So I am firstly going to apologise for how I sound during this video. I am quite croaky. I've had a really poorly week. So yeah, January has just been horrific for lots of reasons. Let's just say that. But we're through January now. It's the 1st of February today. I did want to get a Friday sews out this week and I've just been too sick to be able to do that. So I was poorly, I think around the 6th, 9th of January, something like that. I had a week of flu, norovirus type symptoms, which was just awful and completely floored me. And then been back at work 2.5 weeks and started with this awful cold, which has again floored me. I think because we were having Layla last weekend, I think if you saw my Friday sews last week, that was the last time I uploaded, and I mentioned then that we were having Layla for the weekend and that she'd been poorly herself. And I think she still had the remnants of whatever it was that she'd had and passed it on to us. Dear love that she is, bless her. So yeah, I started with a sore throat earlier this week and it progressed into loads of viral symptoms, chest infection, sore throat, lost my voice on Thursday, and yeah, I am still recovering. It's really lingering and it's taken its toll on me this week. I think probably because I'd not fully recovered from the whatever it was that I had earlier in January. Anyway, I had so many plans this week, to be honest, to get back behind my machine, and it's just not happened. So I haven't got any new sewing to show you, but I thought I would just come on and check in with you all and see how everybody is, and hope that you're all doing well and have managed to get through January in a better state than me. So anyway, I probably look quite well today because I've had a shower and I've done my hair. I've just straightened it this morning, put a little bit of makeup on, and thought I would try and make myself presentable and come on and just catch up with you all so that you've got a little bit of content from me this week anyway. And I've got a few bits to show you, so we can talk through that, but I will talk about what I'm wearing first. So I am wearing a top that I made in January. I am going to do a January makes vlog separately because I've got a few bits and pieces to show you about what I did get made in January despite illness. But yeah, I am wearing one of those makes today, which is a self-drafted top from my bodice block. So a couple of years ago, I did a woven bodice block. Do you call it a woven? It's not woven, is it? It's just a normal bodice block that I used the CeCe class from Craftsy to do that. And once you've done your bodice block, she then tells you how you can use that to create a bodice block for knit garments, which is just amazing. And it's actually quite straightforward. It's more straightforward than doing the woven one or the normal one or whatever it's called. So I decided that I was going to use it because I wanted to make some very simple tops, knit tops, just to wear under jumpers for this time of year, maybe under a pinafore dress, vest top, that kind of thing, gilet, whatever. And I cut out a couple of weeks ago, and this is one of the ones that I've made, and I think I've just actually noticed that I spilt my dinner down it last night, so you'll have to forgive that, but I wanted to just put it on to show you. Yeah, so this is just a very straightforward long sleeved knit top with a neckband, and it fits me absolutely perfectly because it was designed to. So it is cropped because I wanted it cropped, and the plan is to wear it with high-waisted jeans. I don't have high-waisted jeans on today, just to bear that in mind. So yeah, I probably wouldn't go out like this, but I'm happy to wear it in the house. I've got sort of they're not low slung jeans because I don't think they actually make those anymore, but they are mid-rise, shall we say. So my voice is really croaky. I'm really sorry guys, please forgive me. But yeah, anyway, let me show you the top. So let me just pull my jeans up. So yeah, it's just waist length, simple straight sleeved top, and this fabric is a cotton jersey that I got from Northern Monkey Makes, I think it was, a while ago now. I don't know if they still have this in top. The rib is the nearest colour that I had in my stash that worked with the design. So it's just one that I had in my stash, as I say, just a tubular ribbing. Get my words out. And the only thing I would say is that because obviously it's done from my block, the neckline is very high because that's how the blocks work. And then obviously you alter the necklines when you draft your own patterns. So I need to lower the neckline when I make future versions of this because it does feel too high on me and it feels like I'm being choked, if I'm honest. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see from the side, it's just a bit too high, so I probably need to lower the neckline. I mean, I did want it a high neckline, but I think it's just too high. So for future versions of this, when I make more, I think I'm going to lower the neckline probably by about 3/4 of an inch and maybe just take it out just a touch around as well. I think that will just work better for me. So, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I'll make loads more of them because they're just, you know, the basics, aren't they? And they'll work well in my wardrobe. So that's what I'm wearing today. So what shall we start with? I'm going to just go over a couple of things from last week, or the last vlog that we talked about, because I mentioned that I had drafted a pattern to make my own waistcoat, quilted waistcoat, and I'd got that fabric from Fabric Godmother, which is this one. Okay, so it's this one. I got this one, I showed you it last week, which is the quilted, well, it's not quilted, it's jacquard. And I mentioned that I was just going to use like a plain black for the lining and quilt it. Now, last weekend, we went, when Layla was here, on the Sunday before I got ill, we took her to the tropical world at Leeds, which is like, it's really lovely for little ones. And they've got, you know, like a butterfly house and loads of, you know, reptiles and meerkats and all sorts. So the weather was appalling. So it was a great place to take her because it's all indoors, which was just lovely. So because we were in Leeds, and when we came out of there about 1 o'clock, I just said to Martin, can we go to Mill Creations? I'd sort of mentioned about going to Mill Creations a few weeks ago, but as just a trip to go there only is, you know, Leeds is about 40 minutes from me. So, you know, it's a bit of a trek. I mean, it's not too much of a trek, I suppose, for lots of you, but if I'm just going there and not doing anything else out that way, it's probably a bit of a not wasted journey, but, you know, it's a big portion of your day, isn't it? So, but I thought, because we were already over that way and they were open till 3 on Sunday, I said, can we just nip there? On the way back, which is what we did, Layla fell asleep in the car. And yeah, Mill Creations is a sewing shop that is in Farsley in Leeds, which is where they film the sewing bee. I'll put a couple of pictures that I took of the outside. I didn't film inside, but I did take a couple of pictures from the outside, and I've never been before, and I knew that they did some really lovely fabrics, and they have a sewing school there as well, and they do workshops and things. And I thought, you know, while we're out this way, I'll just call in and have a look. So I did. I went in and it was really lovely. They've got some beautiful fabrics. I did buy a couple of things, but they had these fabrics which I thought would work really well for the inside of my quilted waistcoat when I make it. And they had some wadding, so I bought the wadding, which is this, to use as the not the lining, interlining. So that's going to be for that. And then they had this fabric which I thought would actually contrast really well, and I can then make it reversible. So it's this. Now what you might notice is this is actually blue and it's not black, and there was one that I really loved more, but it was more blue than this, and I thought, I knew this fabric was black, and I thought it's going to be too much of a contrast. So I bought this as the other side of it, and I think it's going to be all right because, as I say, it is going to be reversible. And I'm just going to use a plain black poplin bias tape to line it with, and to edge it with. And what I've decided to do is that I am going to quilt these two together. So I'm not going to quilt the whole thing because I don't want to quilt on this, because with it being jacquard, I think any kind of additional stitching I put on this, I think it's not going to work. It's not going to, I've been thinking about this a lot this week. I've had a lot of time to think because I've been just not very well to do much else. So yeah, I've done a lot of thinking, and I think if I quilt this, it's really not going to work because of the type of fabric that it is and the raised effect on the jacquard fabric. So I think I'm going to just do straight line stitching to quilt those two together, and then I am going to put them wrong sides together, and then edge it with bias tape. I think that's going to work. So yeah, that's going to be the quilted waistcoat when I get down to it. So that's the first thing I got from Mill Creations. I did get another fabric, which is this one. So I am so into ginghams and stripes at the minute. I mean, I love my florals, don't get me wrong, but I'm just gravitating to these kinds of fabrics at the minute. And they have a lot of Merchant and Mills fabrics in Mill Creations, which I love their fabrics. They're so expensive, but they're just beautiful. They do a lot of like hand woven stuff, and yeah, they're just stunning fabrics, aren't they? But it's really nice to see them in the flesh, because obviously Merchant Mills is way down south for me, so it's not somewhere that I'm probably ever going to be able to go to, I don't think. So to have some of their fabrics locally, which I can get my hands on and feel, is just really lovely. So they had a beautiful stripe linen, which was like a sort of mid blue and a lighter blue, but they were really sort of like grey slatey colour blues, if that makes sense. It was gorgeous, but I didn't get that. I got this one. So this is like a seersucker cotton linen, and it's in this sort of muted pistachio, I would say. They had it in a few different colourways actually, and they had a pink one which I was really taken with, but I decided to get this. And I want to I've got a specific pattern in mind to make this with, and it is I can't remember the name of it because I'm rubbish and I haven't prepped. But it's by Flora Child Company. It's a dress of theirs, and it's a girl's name. I can't remember the name of it, but I will insert some pictures of the dress here. I love that whole vibe, and I just think this is going to look gorgeous with that, with chunky boots, a little jacket over the top, maybe even the waistcoat, who knows. But yeah, I really want to make that dress, and I've bought 3.5 meters of this. The only thing I am worried about is I've pre-washed this and I've just pressed it this morning, because when it's washed, because of the seersucker, it like crinkles up into nothing, and trying to iron it and press a lot of that out so that you've got a flat piece of fabric to work with was quite tricky. But I've done that, and I am worried because this is actually quite narrow. I think it's 45 wide instead of the 57 or whatever is the normal dressmaking fabrics are, but that's probably because it's hand woven, I think. But yes, I'm a little bit worried that I'm not going to have enough for that dress, because I think it takes 3.5 meters or just over 3 meters, but hopefully I can make it work. We will try our best anyway. But yeah, I really love this dress, and I think the only thing with it is it doesn't have any definition at the waist, but what I'm going to do is add some waist ties in to the side seams so that I can cinch it in, and I think that will work better for me. But yes, I really want to make that out of this. So that's the other fabric that I got from Mill Creations. I could have spent a fortune in that shop because they had so much that I absolutely loved. They'd got some of the Hey So Sister fabrics in, which was really lovely. Lots of Merchant and Mill stuff, lots of fabric Godmother, and yeah, loads of stuff. It was really lovely, really, really nice to see it. I mean, it wasn't as big as what I expected, but I think a lot of indie sewing shops aren't, are they? Let's face it, they tend to be quite small treasure trove shops that hold a lot of stock though. So it was really nice. Really loved visiting, and I'll definitely go back. So that was that. Thank you so much for all your suggestions on where to get a zip from. I mentioned last week that I wanted to make a McCall's jumpsuit, which is this pattern. Oh, where are we? This one. I mentioned about this pattern. I wanted to make that in the gorgeous cow print denim that I got from Fabric Godmother, this one. And I mentioned that I was struggling to locate a 22-inch metal zipper for this jumpsuit, and loads of you gave me some amazing suggestions, so thank you all so much. What I've actually ended up going with is continuous zipper that I picked up from Little Legs Fabrics. So I've got this, which is a gold colour nylon zipper, and I've bought gold zipper pulls. So I have used this stuff before, and there is a bit of a knack to getting the zipper pulls on the zipper because you have to get it on the right way. But there's loads of like little tutorials and YouTube videos and all sorts, isn't there, to help you with it. So I'm gonna do that. So I have bought these little zipper pulls, which are heart shaped. I got these from Little Legs as well. So I think they're going to work okay together. And I'm hoping that, yeah, that is going to work okay. I think what I was a bit worried about was metal, a really long metal zipper in this. I was probably a bit worried about the weight of it and it being, because I'm not sure if this has like if there's like a little panel underneath, you know, like a fly shield is under your zip on trousers. I don't know if there's like a shield underneath the zip, and I was a bit worried, is the metal against my skin, if that's going to be touching my skin, is it going to be a bit cold? Because I'm always cold and I don't want to be cold. So I've gone with this and I'm hoping that's going to work really well. I still need to pre-wash this and soak it and treat it, etc. So because obviously I've not been able to do any of that this week. So that is going to be that. And I'm hoping that's going to solve that issue. But yeah, thank you for all your lovely suggestions. It's just wonderful that you all can, you know, give suggestions like that. That's what's so great about this, isn't it? That we can all help each other, which is amazing. So, now, before I show you what else I've got, because I've got another couple of things to show you, if you remember back to Vlogmas, you might remember that I made this for Layla. So this is the Brindlle and Twig vintage sweatshirt, and I made this during one of my Vlogmases. And Layla is really petite, as lots of you might know, and she is nearly 2 now. She's 22 months old. So yeah, she's 2 at the end of March, and she's still very tiny. So when I measured her for this pattern, when I made it in December, she was coming out at 9 to 12 months. So I made the 9 to 12 months because it's quite an oversized little sweater is this. The sleeves are oversized, the body is oversized because it's a vintage sweatshirt. So I made the 9 to 12 months, and I mentioned that I was really worried that this neckline was going to be too small for her, and I sent it away with my daughter. I think actually I might have wrapped it up for her as one of her little extra Christmas presents. And unfortunately it is too small. So I think somebody did tell me that, I think they said necklines have to be 38 centimetres or something to get over children's heads. This is more than that. It will not get on over Layla's head. Yeah, it's just too small. So I think the problem is, because she's petite, but obviously head size, she's going to be the right size for her age, isn't she? If that makes sense, because she wasn't premature, but body size, she's petite. So I think what I needed to think about when I made this, and I'll need to think about this in future, because this is the second sweatshirt I've made the right size for a body, but I've gone with the same size for the neckline of the corresponding pattern, and it's not worked. I think I need to remember that I'm going to have to make the neckline is going to have to be the age that she is, but modify the body to fit her, if that makes sense. So yeah, I did think that I would just, was it worth just taking all this off and readjusting the neckline and making some new ribbing? Was it worth doing that, as opposed to just remaking the whole thing? Because it's really quick. And I think what I'm worried about is that this plush stuff, it's the first time I've used this, is not very stretchy, and I am a bit concerned that it probably is still going to be a bit of an effort to get her in and out of this, because there isn't a great deal of stretch in the plush. So and we all know, if any of us have got young children, young grandchildren, or have had young children, that if clothes are an effort to get on and off them, you don't put them in them, do you? And I don't want this to be something that my daughter puts on her once I've adjusted the neckline, and then thinks this is so much of a kerfuffle to get her in and out of it, I'm just not going to reach for it anymore. So I think I'm going to abandon this. I'm probably going to donate it to a charity shop or something. unless anybody wants it for a 9 to 12 month old, let me know. If if you want to just take it off my hands, you're more than welcome to. I think I'm going to abandon it. I've still got plenty of this rainbow jersey left, and I think I'm going to remake it in a bigger size and just adjust the sleeve length and the body length. I think I'm probably going to go for, because she is in 12 to 18 now, so I think I'm going to do a 12 to 18, check the neckline and just make it a little bit shorter. I think that's what I need to do for her, and abandon this one. And yeah, which is a shame, but these things teach us lots of new things, don't they? We all learn from mistakes, and making things, they don't always work out, do they? Anyway, so that's an update on that. The new CeCe pattern came out this week by Tilly and the Buttons, and it's a jogger pattern with some really interesting side panel details that you can colour block. If you haven't heard of it, I'm sure you probably have. First for Fabrics were doing some kits, and they just were really good value. So because I was poorly and couldn't sew, but I could still buy, decided to buy one. So I bought a kit from them. It came yesterday, which is here. It's awesome. They've got them in different colourways. They haven't done any colour blocked bundles because the amount that you need for the side panel details is very small. So they said, you can probably just do it from your stash, which I think is great. So the bundles came with the pattern, the paper pattern. So this is it here. So you've got this detail on the side where you can, colour block. You've got pockets, a waistband with elastic and drawstring, little cuffs on the bottom, or you've got a short version as well, which I think will be great for spring and summer. This should work with the Drew as well, which is their sweater pattern. So, you can make yourself a gorgeous little lounge suit if you want to. And what you got with the bundle from First for Fabrics was you got the pattern, you got the fabric, which is a brushed French terry, matching ribbon, elastic, waistband drawstring, a little piece of interfacing just to interface where the buttonholes are made on the waistband for the drawstring, just to reinforce that, and waistband elastic and thread, and a little label as well. So I got the ecru version because I think that would be really nice going into spring. And the drawstring is this stuff, which has got gorgeous little gold flecks in. I think it's beautiful. Not seen that anywhere before. So I got the interfacing, the thread, the matching ribbon, which is, their ribbon is beautiful, waistband elastic, and the gorgeous French terry in this beautiful ecru colour. If you've watched Tamlin's latest vlog, which she put up yesterday, I think, her Friday sews, she's wearing her version that she made in that, and they are gorgeous. So this is the little label that came with it, which is, I think, a little rosy cheeks one, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making those. And I don't think I'm going to colour block this particular make. I think I will just go with the plain detail. So me and Tamlin will be twimming. We won't be twimming at all. We'll be twinning, which will just be lovely. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making that at some point. So anyway, First for Fabrics do free postage over £75, I think it is. That kit was, I think, 52. And it's slightly more expensive if you get one of the bigger sizes, because obviously you need a bit more fabric. So, but my bundle was 52, thereabouts. So obviously I had to buy a bit more, didn't I, to take advantage of free postage, because that's what we do, isn't it? It's just bizarre how our minds work sometimes, but that's how mine works. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm into stripes and ginghams, and I had seen this. I've seen it in the shop when I've been up, actually. They've got these gorgeous pinstripe denims in a couple of different colourways, I think. And I thought, well, I'm going to take advantage now to get free postage. And I bought this one, the pink and white. I think it's a stretch denim. Yeah, stretch denim. I can't remember how many metres I bought this. I think I got 3 metres, something like that. I put this up on on my stories. Yeah, put it up on my stories on Instagram. Piper always starts barking when I'm filming. Anyway, I'm back. So, yeah, I got 2.5, 3 metres, I think, something like that. And I think I said on my stories that I was going to make a jumpsuit. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a jumpsuit, but I do want to make some trousers of some sort. And I think just, you know, it's beautiful for spring, isn't it? It's going to be gorgeous. So, yeah, got myself some of that. And I also bought this, which is a cotton shirting, and it is in this gorgeous denim blue and white stripe. Really simple. I'm just going to make a shirt with this. Yeah, nice shirt. Maybe I like the Atelier Brunette one that I made before. It's not Le Blouse, I think it's La Chemise. I'll put a picture of it here. You get, because of the way the sleeves are constructed, you get this sort of diagonal effect of the yoke at the front. It's like a, yeah, you'll see from the pictures. And I think that would work really nicely in this stripe. It will really show off the pattern. So yes, I got those along with my CeCe bundle, and I'm really happy about that. One thing I have started over the last couple of days, because it's been a really boring week. This is the thing, when you're poorly and you're really not well enough to do anything, you can end up just doom scrolling on your phone, can't you? And I've been doing a lot of that this week, let me just say. I have been going to work. Oh, well, when I say that, I struggled at work on Tuesday, really struggled. And I went into work Wednesday morning and just had to come home because I was just too poorly. And then I was supposed to be doing my respiratory clinic on Thursday that I do, and I had to cancel that as well because I just wasn't well enough. But I started feeling a bit better on Thursday afternoon, and I have been doing some more of my knitting. So I mentioned, I think last week I showed you the Diamond in the Rough sweater that I'm making by Cara Eng, and I talked about the fact that I still had the sleeves to finish, and I was hoping to get it done at some point. So by Thursday I was starting to feel a bit better, not enough to be able to sew, but enough to just start doing a bit of knitting. So I have done a bit more on that. I've almost got one sleeve finished. Almost. I've just got the cuff bit to do, but it is at the right length it needs to be now, and I've done the decreases that I need to do to bring it in for the cuff. So I've just got the cuff to do, and then I've got one more sleeve. But I've started a new knitting project, and I know, you know, I think the thing is with sewing, I tend to start one project and I don't start another project until I've finished that garment. But with knitting, it can be really boring because, you know, you start with so much enthusiasm, don't you? You start a project, and then after you've done a bit on one particular project and you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I know some patterns are really interesting and really make you have to focus, but sometimes even then it can still get repetitive and boring. And so I have started another project because I want to make a little slipover vest, and I found this pattern by Petite Knit, which is the Novice Slipover, this one here. I will leave a link to it down below, but I really like this, and I thought, you know, I could make it to go over my shirt, couldn't I? That would be nice, you know, for those days in spring where it's just a little bit cool and you don't quite want a jumper on, but you know, if you go without a jumper you're a bit cool and that kind of thing. So I thought something like that would be quite useful in my wardrobe. So I picked up this, which is a yarn that I've used before by Stylecraft Grace. It is a it's in shade Sky, and I think it is, yeah, it's acrylic with mohair and wool in it, so it's a bit of a blend. Okay, but that means it's washable and wearable, which is what I need. And I don't think I would make a garment that I would have next to my skin as she's wearing it here. I don't think I'd wear it like that because I just know that this mohair is going to itch me like mad. But I think over a shirt, I think it would work really well. So I started this last night, yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I started it yesterday. And this is what I've got so far, a square. Yeah, it's a square of knitted stockingette. So this is how it's knitting up. This is the back yoke. So I kept having to read the instructions about 4 or 5 times because I expected to start with the neckline ribbing or bottom up, but it's top down. And I was thinking, why am I knitting stockingette? Why am I not doing ribbing? And I couldn't figure out why I was just knitting a rectangle. Thinking, is this an error or something? But actually, what I'm actually knitting is the back. You start on the back. So you start from here, and this is the bit that I'm knitting. So it's all of the back yoke, excluding the ribbing. And then we'll start some shaping for the underarms. And I'm assuming, because I don't know if it's knitting the round, actually, I've not read that far. I'm assuming we'll then start knitting in the round. And then you pick up the stitches at the top here, and you do a double neckband ribbing that you then fold over, if that makes sense. And I'm assuming then that you add on the ribbing for the armholes. That's what I'm assuming. So that's, anyway, so I've been doing some of this. So when I've been feeling, that I'm getting better, but not well enough to sew, it's been nice to just sit and pick up some knitting and do something. So I've been alternating between this and the diamond in the rough sweater, which has been really nice. So yeah, I'm hoping that won't be too big a project and not going to take me too long to do, but we'll see. We shall see. It might be next spring before I get that done. Who knows? Anyway, so last but not least is I think I'm not sure if I mentioned it at the beginning of January, but I talked about that I was suspending my Beyond the Pink Door Think Pink subscription box subscription for a while. I've been a subscriber right from the start, but I just wanted to try something else, if I'm honest. I'm a big fan of Andrea's, and I get a fair bit of my fabric from her because she's just awesome. But I wanted to try something else, and I can't afford nor justify having 2 or 3 subscriptions a month. It's not for me. I think I need to do one or the other, if that makes sense. So I wanted to try something else, and I decided to try the Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe. I've been eyeing it up for a long time, to be honest, but really couldn't justify getting that alongside the Think Pink because the Dream Wardrobe is more expensive. I think including postage, it's about £65. So that on top of the Think Pink one would be £100 for fabrics that I don't even know what I'm getting, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's a lot of money every month on things that I haven't specifically seen and purchased myself. Does that make sense? So I decided to suspend the Beyond the Pink Door one, and this is my first month of getting the Dream Wardrobe. Now this came last week. I didn't even have the energy to open it until yesterday because originally I was going to do a separate unboxing, but I've been too poorly, so I'm incorporating it into this. So the Dream Wardrobe is not a kit, as Ruan has told me, because Piper's about to bark again. It stopped, I think. Okay, so yes, it's not a kit. It's not a kit. I think that's the 3rd time I've said that. I thought it was a kit. I think what I thought the Dream Wardrobe was you got a pattern, you got the fabric to make the pattern and the notions with it, which is a kit, isn't it? I guess. I don't know. Anyway, but what you can do is if you've already got the pattern, you can swap it out. So you don't know what you're getting. You can't choose, obviously, beforehand. But if once you receive it, if you find you've already got the pattern, yes, you can return it for a refund of that part, I think, or swap it out for something else. So it's a really nice thing. And I love Fabric Godmother. I mean, they do amazing things. The fabrics are incredible. So yes, I got my dream wardrobe, which came earlier this week. It's a really hefty box. And I knew from the little snippets that Fabric Godmother have been putting on social media the last few weeks that it was going to be their new pattern. And it is the new pattern. So what I got was the kit like this. I've called it kit, but it's not a kit. We've established that already. So you get the pattern, which is their latest pattern, the Aspen dress. And they have designed this dress based on a dress that is out in ready to wear. Actually, there's a couple of different brands that have their own versions of it, and they have used that as inspiration to design this pattern, which is amazing. So if you go and watch Fabric Godmother's YouTube channel, which I didn't know until the other day that they had one, because I was just looking at during the doom scrolling that I've been doing over the last few days, I found a pattern that looked very much, no, I found a dress in ready to wear that looked very much like this pattern, and I sent it to the girls and said, I wonder if this is where they got their inspiration from. And Ran came back and said, yeah, Josie talks about it on her YouTube channel. And I'm like, I didn't know she had a YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm so late to the party. But anyway, yeah, she does talk about it on her YouTube channel when she talks about this dress. But yes, the Aspen is designed for fairly structured fabrics. Actually, it's a shirt dress with an exposed zip at the front, a collar. You've got 2 sleeve options, short or long, and then you've got pocket options for the top, and it's midi length, and it's really nice. I really like it. Now, I have to say, I'm just going to give you my honest opinion, as I always do. 2 things. The pockets on the top. Firstly, I think on all the versions I've seen, apart from people that have altered it, is that the pocket placement is too low. I think it sits a bit too close to the waistline. So I think a couple of other people have already felt the same, and they've altered it and moved the pockets up slightly. So that's the first thing for me. So I'll probably do the same, because yeah, I think I would prefer the pockets a bit higher. The second thing is you have the option of just doing a normal pocket, patch pocket, or you can do a ruffled pocket. Now, I saw lots of little snippets when Fabric Godmother were releasing snippets of it, and they were releasing snippets of the ruffled bit, and it looked beautiful, because I love a ruffle, I really do. However, when I've seen finished versions of this, and I'm not going to put any images in, because I don't want to sort of snark on people's versions that they've made. I think that's really not very nice. But for me, I'm not keen on the ruffled pocket on a plain version of this dress. For me, it doesn't work for my particular taste. On a print, I think it looks great, to be honest. I like the ruffle in a print. The ruffled pocket in a print, I think, works really well. But on a plain, on breast pockets, it doesn't work for me. So I won't be doing that on this fabric, because the fabric that I've got is plain, which is their, hang on, because this is going to fall off. So the fabric that I've got in mine is this one, which is their burgundy denim, and there is a lot here. So obviously there is enough to make the dress in, I would assume, the long sleeved version. So they've just released a range of their denim in different prints and solids, and I'm not sure if everyone who's got the dream wardrobe has got the same fabric. I haven't watched any of the other unboxings, to be honest, so I don't know if some have got a different fabric, but this is the one I've got in this beautiful burgundy denim. Now, this is a 9-ounce denim, which I know Josie says is perfect for this particular pattern, because it's got enough weight and structure to it to hold the detail of the elements of this design, which I think is going to work really well. But yeah, because I've got a plain, I will just be using the plain pocket for this pattern, and I think I'm going to do the long sleeve. I will not put ruffled pockets on this, because it's just not for me. So, but it is beautiful. It's a really lovely fabric. So their Ace denim, which I think is their first denim they released in this particular base cloth, I think. I have some of that, and yeah, they've done other prints now in and plains in that base cloth. So yeah, it's a lovely weight. It doesn't have any stretch to it, but it's a really nice fabric. So you get the pattern. The pattern is a A0 copy. It's not like a you don't get like a oh, I can't get my words out, honestly, guys. You don't get an instruction booklet with it. You get a little QR code, I think. There is a slip in here somewhere because I had a look at it earlier. But it's a little paper copy like this in there with a QR code that takes you to the instruction booklet. And then this is for the newsletter and sewing notes as well. So that's really nice. And then you also get thread and a couple of little bows with it. Bow labels. I love these because I am really into bows at the minute. There's a lot of bow fabrics coming out, and you get 2 of them, which is really nice. That's going to work really well with this particular project. Now, the only thing you don't get, which is why it's not a kit. Have I said that before yet? That this is not a kit. Have I mentioned that this isn't a kit? You don't get the zip. Now, I thought they would have included that, to be honest, and I was a little bit stumped as to why they hadn't. However, this pattern comes in 2 bust sizes. You get a B cup or a D cup, and obviously they've got a huge size range. It's very inclusive. I think it goes up to 34, I think. Yeah, 6 up to 30, 6 to 30. And dependent on what size range and what bust size you are making, the zip length is different. So yeah, Ruan mentioned that to me and highlighted that's why you don't get the zip, because they don't know what size you're going to make. So that makes sense. I get that. So for the size that I need a 14-inch zip, metal zipper. I want to use a wine coloured zipper with gold teeth because I think that's going to work the best for this fabric. So we're back to where we were last week, that I can't find one. I've looked everywhere. I've really struggled to find a 14-inch wine burgundy coloured zip, metal zip with gold teeth. So Hot have one, but it's out of stock in that size, which is really annoying. So fortunately, I was chatting about it to the girls again this morning, saying I still can't make this dress because I can't find a zip. And Ruan said, I think Fabric Godmother have got them. They do have them. So yes, Fabric Godmother have got some. So I am going to have to order probably a couple of zips from them because I would like to make a denim version of this. I think that would be really nice as well. Yeah, a denim or a cord would be lovely. So I think I'm going to order a couple of zips from them. But yes, if you've got this and you're looking and you're struggling to find, Fabric Godmother do have them. But as to anybody else, I haven't found anywhere else that I've got them in that particular colour, which is annoying. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Right, I have been waffling on at you for long enough. Today's Saturday. I think I've already mentioned that. I would like to get some sewing done today, but I am still feeling not 100%, nowhere near 100%, and I need to pace myself. So I'm going to go and get myself a coffee, I think. What I'm planning to sew this weekend, I need to work on a project that I'm doing with my gorgeous girls for the Northern Soul Sisters. And I'm going to be working on that this weekend, I think. So yeah, that's the plan. As to whether I will get it done is another question, because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to sit behind my sewing machine because of, yeah, feeling quite fragile still. So yeah, watch this space. Right, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it and put up with my croakiness. And yeah, I will look forward to be back with you really soon. So take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon.